Press out tomorrow. Finals time in Melbourne. What a great month to look forward to. Well, despite their indifferent form for most of the season, a game against Richmond is not one that other teams would generally look forward to. The Tigers too returned to something approaching their best form with a morale-boosting win over the Swans last week in Sydney, although of course the Sydney team was very much below top strength owing to a number of crippling injuries. For Fitzroy, the game meant a chance to test out the MCG prior to next week's finals. For Richmond, the opportunity to end a disastrous year on a winning note. For Kevin Bartlett, of course, his last game after 19 years of VFL football. At the cricket ground, our commentators were Sandy Roberts and Bob Skilton, and we pick up play at the 6-minute mark of the second quarter.
Lee trying to palm it from behind, but taken by Harris. Across to Wilson is effective football. Out comes Quinlan on a long lead. Behind front of him is Roos. Got absolutely nothing to kick to. He'll have to go short across the ground, and he does so too. Effective to find Mark Scott.
And as you said during the first quarter, Sandy, Scott, I think taking advantage of meeting a player with about the same pace. I say that affectionately to Greg Strawn because there's no greater try. As Mark Scott puts the ball goalward, it may just reach or be touched through by Jimmy Jess. It's a goal! Mark Scott brings up his first goal. So we see Fitzroy on 6 goals, 39, now a 10-point lead over Richmond, 4-5-29, and I do believe, Sandy, that would be the greatest margin so far in the game.
Yes, without doubt. It's only been a matter of points in it, with each side being able to answer the challenge, but now the Roys have just snuck away a little as we go back into the middle. Lee with that big run up out of picture, now in he comes. Rioli. Like to see Morris's stats so far in the game. Over the head of Bartlett, being outclassed at the moment. Osborne picks it up to the half-forward line, and here comes the pace. Pure speed, as Bobby Skilton says of Greg Strawn, as he gives it across to his skipper, Rollings, and that man in the crowd still voicing off. He's going to be extremely tired tonight. Osborne again. Across to Les Parrish. Roos calling for it out wide, but Les is enjoying these runs from the half-back line. Out comes Burney. A slight nudge against the ghost. Yes, says Glenn James, and so Bernie Quinlan. Too far out to score, but Mark Scott saying, bring it down here, and we'll see what we can do. It's a prodigious punt. Side, bottom, and Scott are both there. And it goes over the line with the general, Mark Lee, just waiting in the square, and another throw-in. Almost 8 minutes have elapsed in this second term. 10 points, favouring the Roys. The ball held once again. The umpire calling play on. In comes Quinlan. He gets caught, throws it away eventually, and the umpire says holding the ball.
Strawn goes straight across the ground where Jimmy Jess is completely clear. Steadies. Puts a kick forward. Matt Rendell there for Fitzroy. He puts it back from whence it came. Side bottom, a nice mark. By gee, he's played well so far, Sandy.
Played a marvellous game. 7 marks. And is about to embark upon his 9th kick. Drop punt. Sailing straight through the middle, and the Roys open up a very handy 16-point break on 7's big lead.
Well, the rest last week was, I'm not sure whether it was more than one game that Sidebottom has been out, but the rest certainly hasn't done him any harm.
No, he's come back extremely strongly, as we see Rendell taking the ball from Jess, and it was Jess again who tried vainly to spoil, but was ineffective, and Sidebottom, who's having a marvellous game thus far, was able to convert. 29 plays 45 after 9 minutes. Second term, Rendell, who gets the favourable bounce this time, taken to ground by Rioli, thrown out by Clayton de Roos. Past Wilson it goes. Rollings for the Tigers, one bounce over the centre. Wobbles a torpedo punt down towards the half-forward line, and the mark is taken there by the smallest man on the ground in Dale Wade. Well, perhaps he's not. Brad Gotch, I don't know if they stood next to one another, there'd be only a split here.
Long stops or short stops?
I think that would be. Yes, Bobby. Here's Waitman. Off target, is he? Pulling the ball for one behind. 4-6. to 7-3. They've each had 10 shots at goal, but Fitzroy lead by 15 points.